Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Quill Quickcard, and welcome back to Mindustry, where my first intention was to go and find and capture the fungal pass, since it, seemed low enough on the trees. But if I am able to access it, then I can't find it. So, instead, I am going to be heading to the Stained Mountains. So, let's see what is in store for me. Alright, so first things first, I want to make a quick scout around the map, see where I'm going to be attacked from, and then we will oh, okay. So we have an entry point up there. Is that the only entry point? Okay, that seems to be the only point where they are going to attack from. So, I always prefer to have my defenses set up. This is probably... No, this. This is probably the widest, most reliable place that I could create a choke point. I can easily block off these areas with a few walls. And then there's a narrow part here and a wider part here. That should funnel any ground units into this path here, which is wide enough to be defensible. So the first thing I want to do is establish some initial defenses there to handle the first waves. So, salvos will fire homing rounds with silicone. Okay. And then our silicone is going to need coal and sand. Coal is running a little bit low around the map, but we can make that work. Okay. So let's build a salvo here. As far as silicone, we can go ahead and build that here. So then we're going to need a bunch of sand. And a bunch of conveyors running it here. And it might just be worth it to run several spore presses, which output the oil and then the oil outputs the coal. Okay. So, unfortunately, we don't really have too many locations suitable for this. It may just be best to feed in the coal line from here and then get some coal production set up. Wait. To be efficient, let's put it near the water. I'm also going to need power. Okay. Let's find the most efficient way to get as much out of these as we can. Because better not to work with the fluids when I don't even have any metaglass set up. Okay. There. A bunch like that. And there's room for another mostly efficient drill here. And that is going to feed into... There we go. Okay. So this is going to run here into a distributor. No, not into a distributor. It's going to run into a container. Then the container is going to unload into a distributor. Then the distributor is going to run into the salvo. Put a junction here. There we go. Just run right aside the second line. So the next thing we need is power. So the thermals need metaglass, which I don't have. The steam generators can run off of spore pods. cultivators take power. Spore presses take power. So we're going to have to run some combustion generators to start. Okay. And that will all run into the basic generator pattern. Right over here. Okay. And then we will run some power nodes over here. And then, just for the sake of it, we will run a second salvo here. Now, I'm also going to want to start putting up air defenses. So if I assume air defenses up here, moving toward my power production, then they're probably going to cross somewhere in this area to begin with. So I can start blocking off these areas. Okay, that'll leave them funneled into here. Alright. That should be enough to handle the initial waves. Let's start getting it built. There we go. Yeah, let's get all of the silicone production going first. Good. Oh. Right. Coal. Okay. The coal line is running. You are going to output silicone. Good. And now we just need the barrier walls. And the zone is right there. So they're all going to head this way. Okay. I feel a lot better about using my flying units to produce stuff now that I understand that the monos will just go after whichever resource I am lowest on. So let's put a factory here. Let's also grab some more coal production over here. Very good. And this is going to go into another silicone line. Very good. Another sand line. Very good. Okay. So that is the silicone production. And then here, oh, this is such a mess. Okay. Very good. That can run up here into the water. Let's run a distributor off of there. A couple of the basic generator patterns. That is at least enough power to get started. Okay. So I want you to produce the monos, which requires lead and silicone. There we go. So that is a successful silicone line running into there. So now we need lead running into there. So lead, 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 lead. Okay. This is an absolute mess of a design, but that's okay. It will get the job done. Okay. There we go. And we are going to need power coming down this way. That'll be enough to produce the air units. So the next thing we need is a pair of overflow gates. To feed the excess material into my core. There we go. I know it's not as efficient as a straight line, but it will be at least functional. And then we've got a whole bunch of titanium over here. Okay. There. And a nice inefficient line, just to make sure that anyone who is watching this is really, really bothered by it. Okay. All right. Let's get the combustion going first. Okay, first wave is about to come. Let's make sure that it's working the way I hoped. Okay. Well, first of all, I did not, in fact, fully block off the path. Crap. Damn it. Screw it. Just take it out. Damn it. I thought I had everything covered. I did not. Sir? Sir, could you please just die? Thank you. Damn it, damn it, damn it. That really sucks. Okay. That's fine. Oh, God damn it. The entire build, everything I laid out, is gone because I died. God damn it. That is so annoying. I really hate that it does that. God, I don't even know what I'm going to have to fix right now. Damn it. Well, for one thing, I don't even have the feed line going in. I don't have any of the lead production still here. So that's great. That is an extremely annoying feature. Okay. Alright. Let's rebuild all of it except worse, because now I am impatient and bothered. There we go. There we go. So the power is functioning. The silicone line is functioning. The overflow gates are functioning. So what I didn't get to build was the coal line. Okay, it's not as bothersome as I had feared. Just mildly inconvenient. All right. Okay. So we should have stuff running now. We have a silicon line outputting. Perfect. So the power up here is plus 131. So now that I do have some power running, can I get some spore pods going? You're going to use 180 power a second. What exactly is the consumption rate of you? Is there a way to see that? It looks like it might only need one, so we do need a cultivator. So we'll just put a cultivator here. And the cultivator just puts out the spore pods. So we'll just connect it like that. And then, oh, right, I don't have any metaglass. Metaglass is made by the kiln, which needs lead and sand. We've got plenty of lead and sand here. So let's set up an easy kiln We'll set up the easy kiln down here. But that's going to take power too, isn't it? Yeah. Everyone is 36 per second. I don't need a lot of metaglass, but I do need some. So let's just get one kiln going. A router off of this line. Yeah, and sand. We should have enough power. We're not going to need too many drills running into this. Okay. And then you... need to go into the output line, which was also broken upon my death. Okay. So all of this is the output overflow line. That's fine. Good. Yep, the lead must flow. Get the lead going. Okay, we are out of copper. That's great. That's precisely the kind of situation that I wanted to avoid. Okay, there's some stuff up here. Maybe I can get a little bit of copper out of this. Okay, or a teensy bit of thorium. Okay, now it's raining. Great. Okay, how do I mine copper again? I don't... Okay. Alright, yes. I need manual... Okay, and unload. Alright. Okay, lead is on the line. That's good. I really feel like I need air defenses very quickly. Okay, lead is going in. That's good. Now we need more lead going in. We've already got some metaglass running. That should be enough copper. Why was there coal on the line? Okay. Because of you. Cool. No, go in. Okay, good. We are now producing the monos. That's fine. Okay. We are now producing monos. So copper production is going to be better off. Which means I can now run my mechanical pumps into the cultivator, which is not particularly efficient. We're actually going to run this there. Oh. You need a few pumps as well. Okay. There we go. Ay, 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 ay. What do I have that can hit air units and maybe can use silicone? Tsunami is liquid. Fuse. Scatters are just the most reliable because of that absolutely ridiculous range they have. They are also most efficient with lead. Where do I have a lead source near here? I've got lead here. Okay. That's fine. Is this automatically getting filled with water? Yes, it is. Okay, good. There. Okay. All right, all right. I feel really nervous not having an air defense. I'm running very low on copper. I suspect that any air unit that tries to attack will have to go through there. So let's get that lead. Okay. Okay. Yes, send a bridge over. Okay. And then over and over. And then up and over and into the distributor. Alright. That's fine. Wait. Okay, no, we're okay. We're okay. We're okay. Alright. Monos are going to be working along. All of that is okay. Let's prioritize getting the scatters going. How many monos am I up to by now? It honestly hasn't been long with all of the pausing. We are up to 5 monos. That's good. Metaglass production is slow but stable. Good tea. Yeah, given that this is a named sector, I imagine there's pretty much a 100% chance that I'm going to have to deal with flying units. What is the range on a flying unit here? Okay. That is pretty good. The silicone production is going well. Okay, the lead lines are producing. That's good. We're actually going to put our steam generators here. Okay. Cool. There we go. And like that. And like that. And then we are going to run a distributor. You're going to go here. You are going to go here. Okay. You're going to go there. And then you are going to go there. And then we lay the conduits. Oh, God. I'm such a mess at this. Okay, you go here. You go here. You go up and around and then into there. That's probably fine. And then we are going to run one more cultivator here with one more line feeding into it. And last but not least, we are going to run them into the power grid. And then we are going to start constructing batteries. No, you need to... Oh my god. There. Okay. Now we are running a massive surplus of power production, which is exactly what I want. All of the scatters look like they are fine. We're going to run a second set of scatters right here. Copper production is finally online. And now is when we build more salvos. Okay. There we go. That looks pretty damn good. And then we're actually going to lay down some thorium walls. Oh dear God. Wait, do salvos hit air? Salvos do hit air. Okay. So that's pretty sweet. We're gonna lay a bunch of titanium here. So we still have a line going through there. And then we are going to run 3 mend projectors. And some large power nodes to back them up. Very good. We are still running a massive power surplus. That's good. I still want to finish taking apart all of this. Nice. So how's that mono production? We are at 13 out of 16. Everything seems to be running pretty well. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, you guys aren't gonna get very far. And the salvos could be made to run even faster with water. I mean... It would be kind of funny. Okay, that is 21 units of water. That is enough for 2 of them. So sure. Whoop, up and over and over. And this is receiving water, so that's good. Let's have a few more pumps feed into this line. And then we will also have coming off of it a wave. Wave is the liquid one, right? Yes. Okay. So we will also have... Damn. Alright. There. So this is now being supplied with water. My power production... is usually running at the surplus. Okay. So the main problem here is that I'm not producing enough water for the cultivators to be completely consistent. Okay. Yeah, sure. Just run even more of them. Why not? There we go. Okay. So now those are running efficiency. I'm running at a constant surplus. So this is where I want to start having some things feed back. There we go. Cool. And yeah, I basically have a large uninterrupted area to build my lines in. Okay. Okay. So that line looks okay. Junction. Yep. Just keep on building. Another junction. another couple of junctions. And this will start feeding coal and lead back into the core. On top of that, I also want to connect the two power networks. So just a bunch of big power nodes. Okay. There we go. All right. Cool. There we go. Nodes connected. Here comes the overflow coal and lead. And I don't think any of it has interfered with the lines. Okay. There. Way more scatters. Okay. So what we have here is a bit of a mess. Okay. So this lead is going up. Yes. This overflow coal is going down. Okay. So the bridge conveyor needs to go here. There. Okay. So it's not negatively feeding down anymore. And then that, no, needs to go, needs to be another bridge conveyor from here to here. All right. Okay. Go from here to here. Good. Okay. So now all the gates are working. And we want mend projectors on the scatters with primary and backup power supplies. And then if we could run a wave over here, that would be useful as well. So let's run a liquid router off of that. we go. The wave is now receiving water. What we now need is more spore pods on the line. There. Okay. More spore pods on the line means more consistent steam generation. We are running extremely competent tight defenses. Meanwhile, how much plastanium have we actually produced? We're at 4,500. Yeah, we should definitely spend that. A repair turret sounds pretty cool. Separate slag into trace amounts. Okay. A disassembler sounds huge. Being able to now produce thorium. A silicone crucible. Sure, that sounds good. We're probably sitting on as much surge alloy as we're going to make right now, so we might as well spend it. The Swarmer fires homing missiles. That seems pretty good. So let's see what actually goes into this. Oh god, okay. Fires homing missiles at enemies. What? Oh dear god, the range on that is crazy. Okay. The disassembler is able to output graphite, sand, titanium, and thorium. Interesting. I forget what makes plastanium. Coal and titanium. Or no, oil and titanium. Hold on. I think I could easily turn this location, this sector, into a plastanium production facility. Hold on. So I need titanium and oil. So oil I can get from the spore press at 15 a pop. The plastanium compressor needs... So it's close enough to just being 1-to-1 for a compressor to a spore press, which needs one spore pod every 3 seconds. So one cultivator. So if I run 3 of those, and every cultivator needs 18 units of water per second. So basically I need 3 mechanical pumps per spore press. And then we're going to need to run a lot of power into this system. So much so that we may need to enhance the steam generators. Okay. So the 3 spore presses will run on a single output line. And those are going to run into a spore press. So the spore press, I would imagine we can just run 3 of those, if not more. Why can I never remember which one of these is which? Okay. Spore press, spore press, spore press, spore press, spore pressed. Good. Okay. And then all of these are going to be outputting a bunch of oil. And then we'll run the oil into a liquid container. So if each of these is running at maximum efficiency, then it's 18 oil each. That would be 180 for 10, so 90 units total. 90 units of oil per second. Plastanium compressor can output, or takes 15 units per second, so that's 6 units, because 2 units is 30. Multiply that by 3, so 6 plastanium compressors. Okay. We are definitely going to need more power. It's a little bit busy over here. But I think that will be okay. We'll just build a steam generator here and a steam generator here. There we go. And now we need water. So let's put a liquid container here. All right. Okay. So now, as far as the water output, we go like that. Then we run this into here. And then we run this into here. Does that work? Are we running efficiently now? Okay, the pumps are not receiving enough water. All right. There we go. I think it is like barely on the cusp of not having enough water. Okay. This line can run into here. Huh. Okay. It's close, but it is consistent. And I now have a surplus of over 1,000. Alright. So if I'm right about my numbers here, then I can run 9 plastanium compressors off of this. Let's start with 6. Okay. And another power node. Every plastanium compressor is taking 180 units of power per second, which is absolutely insane. The other problem is that I need to be feeding them with titanium. Now, where the hell is more titanium? I do have a titanium line. Okay. So I'm going to have to take this whole titanium line and redirect it. Okay, actually getting it over there is going to be a challenge. But that's okay. This is hardly the first time I will have made a giant, inefficient, level-spanning line of titanium. Okay. And this is going to run into a router. And this first router is going to run into this distributor. The second is going to run here. So you're going to go up and over. You are going to go up and in. You are going to run up and over. Okay, you now basically have no way to output. That's fine. I see a solution. Okay. So you are going to output here. And you are going to output here. And you are going to output here. So now we just need a bunch of junctions. A junction there, a junction there, a junction there, a junction there, a junction here, and I have no idea. This is all an absolute mess. Okay. It says you're not receiving oil. How could you not be receiving oil? Okay, alright, you're all receiving oil. Okay, that's good. So you're outputting there, you're outputting there, you can output there. Okay. So we are now outputting plastanium. Okay, no. I already see the problem there. We are not going to confuse our distributor. Okay. Okay, now the fun part where I have to make this massive confusing line going back into my core. It definitely cut into the efficiency of my production. But I think we're going to be fine. Okay. Is anything else getting caught on the plastanium line? Okay, nothing else is getting caught on the line. But what we do need is more cultivators. There, okay. That's more water. So I think we're going to need more pumps. More pumps. Okay, sure. Here is a crap ton more water than you need. Nice. Alright. So now you are running much more consistently. Oh, right. It helps if you have an output line. Okay, we need more nodes. There we go. Okay, let's run one more cultivator. So it didn't mean it outputs one spore pod every 0.6 seconds. What it meant was that it has an output of... Well, it means that every second it's outputting 0.6. Meanwhile, the defenses are holding. We are beginning to produce our plastanium. which is good. We're already sitting on enough extra for the repair turret. We've nearly unlocked everything available to us right now, but we're going to unlock more as we finish this stage. The power is occasionally dipping, but I think those dips were just from the Mind projectors running. Yeah, power seems to be okay. So, I guess all we really need to do now is just sit here and wait for the waves. Not bad. Just flip through my phone, delete spam, see if anybody on Reddit appreciates that I exist. You know, normal. Alright, so what are we up against now? Oh, you poor sad sacks. um... It's okay. I could definitely make that more efficient. Do I dare run an overflow line off the spore? No, don't do that, okay? Everything barely works right now, and frankly, I'm amazed it does. Just focus on keep things running efficiently. In the meantime, let's run some illuminators. There we go. There. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, Guardian approaching in 10 waves. As that gets closer... Alright, let's see how this handles. Dang, air units are not pulling off any successes. Very good, very good. How tough are these? 2,000 health for plastanium walls, 3,200 health for thorium walls, 3,680 for surge walls. Fascinating. I mean, it seems to be doing pretty good. We can run a few Lancers. Because they only use power like when they are actually firing, right? I think. Yeah, we're still solidly well off. We are producing the plastanium. So this will be just a nice solid plastanium production sector. I think we are doing pretty well. Good. Yes. Everything is working out. Let's put even more work into that. At some point, I'm going to have to start producing a lot more surge alloy as well. God, it just seems like such a pain in the ass to build, if I'm being honest. That's already the core foundation. I'm not going to get enough to make it a nucleus. Shock mines seem really, really cheap. Are shock mines one-time use? Like, do they just hit a guy and then die? I've never actually built any, so I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, I think we'll be fine with the Lancers. Okay, yeah. So that's how the mines work. Cool. I am genuinely curious how these work, and I've got time. Add. Okay. So I need a memory cell. Oh boy. So if I need to print frog, what the hell? How does any of this logic work? Write a number to a linked memory cell. Write result to cell at 0. A block control. Print. Get a processor link. Get data from a building or unit. Okay, so in block one? What the hell? Okay. So this is cell 1. So if I was to say, write this to cell 1, write result to cell 1 at 0, I truly don't know how to run any of that. That seems like the sort of stuff I could use, if I understood it, to generate a considerable amount of highly efficient stuff. But to put it quite simply, I have no idea how to do it. Yeah. Thermal. Okay. I mean, we've been here for an hour and a half. Let's just go ahead and start working our way through. I would imagine that at this point I have sufficient defenses to handle most of the threats I could reasonably encounter on this level. My builds are an absolute mess. Mostly because I really don't like looking at a bunch of like intercrossing junctions like this. I understand how this functions. I understand why this functions. But I don't like it. It's not as easy for my eyes to track it and make sure everything's working appropriately. So I tend to run everything on on dedicated lines, and they're just uglier to look at. It's just that simple. Okay. I do not trust that my current scatter defenses are sufficient to catch everything. So we are going to build another couple scatters. Another couple scatter platforms. So the plastanium conveyors transport items forward in batches. Batches, you say? Oh, God, what is going on with the titanium line? Okay. Oh, you poor, poor, poor thing. Let's try a plastanium conveyor just to see. Ah. Okay. So it delivers multiple items at a time. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, let's get the next wave going. So far, I mean, basically just starting out with 2 salvos pretty much trivialized this entire mission. Very good. Next. Ooh, that's a hell of a fleet. The fleet's dead. I don't think a single enemy wave in the last 29 waves has managed to take out a single thing of my defenses. Not a turret, not a wall, not a conveyor belt. It's kind of cool. Alright, let's get this Guardian. Okay, so it's 1 shield boy. I've dealt with shield boys before. This is not a problem. Alright, man. Open fire. There we go. The sector has been captured. Let's see what we have unlocked. First off, do I have enough for you yet? Yes. Okay, the Cyclone has been unlocked. The Vault, we can unlock that. I don't see anything else here that became available. There's just the Meltdown, and we're still working on that. Everything else is red. Okay, so not bad. So there is the Extraction Outpost, which is actually attacking 173. So that would secure another area. Oh, this is Fungal Pass. Sweet. I finally have access to it. Extraction Outpost would probably be the main area that I would leave from. We are running a core foundation there. This area has scrap, right? Yeah, it has a lot of scrap. So, if I can turn this location into a thorium production facility with the use of the disassembler, which is going to take 40 plastanium. Getting 40 plastanium would be challenging. Let's see. No, you need thorium to build a disassembler. Okay. So I don't have any way of producing thorium here. Uh, this is a high danger zone, 64. High danger suggests to me it may have better resources. So I think what I will do is try Sector 64. Hopefully be able to gain access to titanium and or thorium there. If I can access titanium and thorium in this section of map, then I can get my core upgraded. I can load it up with more resources and then head into the extraction outpost with all of that and start beginning units en masse. So that is going to be my plan moving forward, but I'm afraid that's going to have to wait until the next one.